This time, the chair will move. After the chair makes the motion, if it receives a second, the chair will then start. Senator Smith, you'll have an opportunity to try to get this to no more than 5 minutes to express whatever you wish to express vis-a-vis germane to the issue of confirmation. To the extent comments are made by any member of the committee, it's straight outside the reasons for or against it, why to confirm the director, you will be dealt with. This is not an indictment of the process, the committee, or the chair. I ask that you stick your comments to the issue of the motion. You're welcome to say as you wish on that issue. At the end of your comments, if you choose to make them, you will be asked how you vote on the motion. And we will do this one member at a time until we complete the process. At this time, the chair moves that the Senate Judiciary and Criminal Justice Committee recommend not to confirm or advise and consent to the appointment of Cathy Taylor to the position of Director of Compensation. And not to confirm, which would mean the yes vote is a non-confirmation vote, a no vote would be a confirmation vote. Is there a second to the motion? Second. Moved by the chair, seconded by Senator Goodman. At this time, we will start with Senator Smith.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I ask that the committee favorably confront Cathy Taylor as Director of the Department of Safety. We've heard testimony in this committee showing Ms. Taylor to be a trustworthy, hard-working woman. She knows an exemplary 32-year law enforcement record. She's a stellar woman in all that she has done and represented, and I do not believe that the years that we have engaged over the past 2 days have proved any reason to question her honesty or her integrity. She has been truthful in all the testimony, and I believe that the evidence shows this. And I believe for this reason that we should favorably recommend Ms. Cathy Taylor and confirm her as Director of the Department of Safety.
So on the motion, you vote no. Is that correct, Senator Smith? Please note, Senator Smith. No vote on the motion. Senator Kearney. I vote no. Senator Kearney votes no on the motion. Senator Turner. No. Senator Turner votes no on the motion. Senator Seitz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I first would like to commend you, Mr. Chairman, for your amazing patience and for your conscientious handling of this solemn duty. I agree with you that while it has been long and arduous, it is part of our constitutional and otherwise statutory obligation to consider carefully these matters. Truly, you have been managing several issues simultaneously. Senator Goodman's bill, the hearing has dealt with the need for improvement of the residents. The question which we've dealt with in this committee for 3 months of the whole caper or cluster, as the case may be, and in addition, the question of confirmation of Ms. Taylor. I have grave concerns about much of what I've heard. First of all, the very strange trend and commentary here where on the one hand, the administration seems to argue that this is tobacco, which justified a knock-and-talk approach as opposed to a sting, and on the other hand, claims not really made by Ms. Taylor, but by others, that there was some sort of a safety issue here involving bombs, grenades, knives, and guns. You're riding your horse in 2 opposite directions, and that generally doesn't work. If in fact there were safety concerns that were legitimate about bombs, guns, grenades, and so forth, that would to me indicate a well-planned, safe, efficient sting operation that would interdict such paraphernalia. On the other hand, if it were merely tobacco, I would not question anyone who decided that we're just going to go tell Mrs. Crawford, we'd like you not to do that. So I'm concerned about that. I am very concerned with people who are in charge, who should know better, failing to communicate with those down the chain of command who were in a position to know the facts. I don't to this day, know why Director Collins and Director Moore are telling important people that this is tobacco when the warden at the Pickaway Institution and his inspector are saying to others through the chain of command that it more than likely might be drugs. I find that troubling equally on the side of the Highway Patrol. We have Major Booker, Captain Henderson, Lieutenant Jarvie, Sergeant Miller, and I'm probably forgetting one or two. Captain Combest came to testify, Lieutenant Colonel Costas. All of them are of the belief that this substance is likely drugs, and yet Colonel Dicken accepts the word of, in effect, outsiders that no, it probably is tobacco. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I frankly do believe, and I certainly sympathize with those who say that this administration owes Captain Combest, Major Booker, Lieutenant Colonel Costas, Captain Henderson, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Mack, and probably others, an apology because they acted honorably. Correctly or not remains to be seen, but they are honorable people doing an honorable job, and I think that is certainly merited. I'm reminded not to denigrate these proceedings in any way with levity that is unwarranted, but the whole thing sort of reminds me of the old TV show Hogan's Heroes. It's very concerning to me that we have an operation at the governor's mansion where LeBeau and Newkirk and Hogan are out there conducting various scams and skullduggeries right on the grounds of the mansion. We've got people who are in charge of executive protection that remind me of Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing, I hear nothing, I know nothing. We've got any number of people in this drama who could play the role of Colonel Clink, the bumbling camp commandant who can't seem to get to the bottom of this and act appropriately to restore order out of chaos. And of course, Mr. Chairman, I hope you do not take this as any sign of disrespect, but rather a great respect, that you, Mr. Chairman, have served the role of Major Hochstetter, reminding everybody what an idiot Clink is. And so, but for all the world, that's what I'm seeing here. Now, having said all that, I believe very firmly that the governor has the power to pick who he wants to be a member of his cabinet. I believe that we should respect that unless there is clear and convincing evidence of unfitness for office. I believe Cathy Collins-Taylor has a distinguished record of public service. I believe she is an improvement over her predecessor in office, whose frankly, his activities ought to be investigated with all the illegal license tags to illegal aliens. I believe she has tried to restore a better working relationship with the patrol. I believe that tobacco is at the root of this problem. I believe it would have been much better for Director Collins-Taylor and others to have fessed up that we did this, as the Inspector General concluded, to avoid political embarrassment to the governor. Obviously, it would be embarrassing to the governor, who declared an end to tobacco in the prisons, to find out that his residence has become the tobacco warehouse of Central Ohio, and repeated discoveries of tobacco on the grounds of the mansion suggest that the real problem here is we have succeeded, as the man from Pickaway testified, in turning tobacco into the hottest commodity in prison. $1,000 for an 8-ounce can of roll your own cheap tobacco. This is a recipe for disaster. And it would have been better just to fess up and say that's what it's about. Hey, we tried to make it so nobody would find out. Well, by golly, now everybody knows, and that's a shame. But we are faced with only 2 allegations of misconduct by Ms. Collins-Taylor. One is, and both of these are right in the IG's report. I'm basing the charges on the IG's very competent, complete report. One is that she was not truthful as to the timing of when this decision was made to call off the sting, whether it's Friday or Saturday. And second, she was not truthful as to who made the decision. Was it her? Was it Colonel Dick? In my view, in order to be a liar, it must be a misstatement of a material fact. I am convinced that the statute authorizes the director